Hello, my name's Cliff Yankovich, and I want to welcome you to the very first edition of a new feature from LowellArts, the Featured Artist Series, connecting you with the people behind the music. I'm pumped to be talking to Ryne Clarke today on behalf of LowellArts. I first heard Ryne when he was fronting a band called the Preservers while he was attending Lowell High School. A teacher friend gave me one of their CDs, and I was blown away by the quality of the music. College broke up the Preservers, but Ryne continues to make music with his old bandmates as well as a host of other talented people under the umbrella of the Ryne Experience. Are you here today, Ryne?
Hey, we're here. Glad to be here for this LowellArts Featured Artist of the Month.
What got you started making music?
I would say, so naturally my sister Molly played stand-up bass in high school. So with that going on, I was interested to do band or orchestra, just some sort of instrument. Seemed like something I would like to do. And it's too late for that, so my grandma and great-grandma both played the accordion. So I learned a little bit of that. It's just the first instrument. Learned some 50s sheet music. Weird Al was a big influence, still is. Really, really good guy. From there, it was probably just getting into rock music. My dad gave me a bunch of rock CDs and started playing guitar, and I just happened to meet Jeremy through the local radio station WRWW. So we kind of hit it off there, and I found out his brother played drums, and me and Jeremy kind of learned guitar together, and from there it's just came down to we needed a singer, and somebody had to do it, so it was me, and here we are now.
Hey folks, the accordion gets a bad rap, but if it were not for the accordion, we wouldn't have the Ryne Experience.
It's a great instrument.
I've watched you and seen you play guitar, kazoo, organ, a host of other things. What is the go-to instrument for you when you're writing a song?
Just primarily guitar, because that's really my main instrument now, but there are quite a few that, even the piano downstairs, I'll mess around with and come up with just some chord progressions, and from there just transposing those progressions onto the guitar. Just getting different ideas, but it's usually guitar. But, I mean, the ideas come from anywhere, really.
Do the lyrics come to you first, or the music, or is it go either way? Or
a lot of that is kind of just a stream of consciousness, like finding a chord progression that I like, and it kind of sticks in my head. From there, you're almost just singing nonsense. Sometimes words don't even come out. And eventually, like, you have one lyric line that might stick, and from there, I'll scribble that down, and within 15, 20 minutes, I might have a rough draft of a song finished. And it's just really trying to strike while the iron's hot, which I think is really important, because if you don't try and do that right in the moment, it kind of just fades away like very quickly.
Didn't you say the inspiration for your onion tree was from a dream?
Yeah.
You woke up and
just had a dream about pulling an onion off a giant oak tree in this beautiful field, and took a bite out of the onion, and I woke up immediately and just had to write it down, like what happened, because especially with dreams, they just disappear so quickly. So that kind of just inspired the whole project, just something so ridiculous as an onion tree, trying to picture what that would look like.
Who are your top 5 musical influences? Can you narrow it down to 5?
I mean, the Who is just a big influence. You wouldn't really hear it necessarily in the sound of the music I'm making now, but the songwriting, like Pete Townsend in particular, is just a mastermind of a songwriter with all the multi-tracking he would do in his demos. And just the sheer power of the Who just really, I don't know, inspires you to make music, I guess. So that's a good example of like a prime rock band where there's more bands like Wilco or the artist Mac DeMarco or Pavement, where they don't necessarily have the most perfect voice, but it's the imperfectness and just kind of the dissonance of the whole sound that it's like, hey, well, maybe I could do something like that. It's people like that kind of inspire me, because it's not perfect.
I should mention that we're coming to you live from where the magic happens in Ryne's life. I think he's going to give you a quick little studio tour later on. One of my favorite aspects of this guy's music is that he loves to collaborate. And I've been around a lot of artists, not necessarily all musicians, but some artists are real weird and they don't like to collaborate. How come your perspective is so different? What do you get from collaborating with all these people?
I mean, there's some tracks where I'll do most everything myself, and those are really fun, and I think that's a fun way to almost just demo something and put together a project, but really just reaching out and finding these talented people, because West Michigan is just full of them, and being able to just work with so many awesome different musicians, and it ties them into the whole project. And that, I feel like, keeping it true to the name, I almost have to collaborate at this point, because it's, it's me writing the songs and doing the production, but the experience is really everything else that you would hear. There's horn players, drummers, bass players, just everyone you can think of. Like, it's kind of just dumb not to collaborate with people.
It was funny when I was listening to your latest one and the song came on with the horn, with the trumpet.
Oh,
I didn't have anything in front of me. I thought, I wonder if that's Sam Kenny.
Sure is.
Sure was.
It's a hard one to get a hold of, but especially with the past year, just collaborating with people is, in the digital age, fairly easy. So I don't know why more people don't do it.
Leads right into my next question. How did 2020 change your approach to making and sharing your music?
Oh, well, so pre-COVID, we were already starting on what would become the Onion Tree. We tracked songs with Little Pat when I still had the smaller studio space in just a normal bedroom, but we had our Funky Town album finished in September of 2019, and we were just mixing it and putting it on the side burner. We ended up getting a great opportunity to headline the Pyramid Scheme. We were gearing up for a small Midwest tour, so we had exciting things coming up, and we were pretty much going to maybe do like one album towards the end of the year, but focus on just getting this new album out and doing some touring. So all of that just came crashing down all around the same time, which was just kind of awful, because we felt like we had a really good momentum going. We were playing 6 to 8 shows a month in the Grand Rapids area, just really getting our name out there, and it was just, everything stopped.
Screeching halt. This leads into my next question. I think the general public has a conception that, boy, if they listen to you on, I don't want to pick on particular online music sources, on any online music source, they're comforted by the fact that, oh, gee, Ryne or my favorite band, they're making money off this. What's the reality of money being made from downloads and listening online?
It's not a very good reality. It's quite grim. Making the music, just getting it out there on the services is worth it in a sense, as far as your name's out there, and if someone goes on one of these popular music sites, they can search you and they can find you. They might not find you in a featured playlist or anything like that unless that happens, but it's just not a lot of money. You get fractions of pennies per play.
The reason I'm bringing this up is that part of what we want to do with this is have a link to merchandise for the bands and musicians. What do you think is what's on that subject, what's the best way for people to support you while you can't perform live?
I'd say the best way is just the albums. I mean, at this point, especially going back to the whole 2020 question, we were able to just squeeze in like a quick 6-song EP and then finish up this Onion Tree album. I mean, we put out 3 records last year. We have 5 underneath this name, and there's definitely more in the works with the new studio space. Just buying an album. Hopefully we're going to make more t-shirts soon, but just merch. Merch is the best way.
Merch. I noticed you had someone play an electric drill on one of your songs. Do you have any words of encouragement for young, up-and-coming electric drill players who might be watching?
That particular electric drill player was unaware that he was being recorded. He was pleased after I showed him the finished album, but
so there was no contract signed?
No contract.
Wow.
He could have sued. He did not. We thank you for that. Pat Ball, thank you.
Can you perform one of your songs for us today?
Sure. We'll do that right now.